All right. So this is one thing I will promise you by the end of this call, there will be 2 nuggets minimum that you will take out of it. I've actually been preparing for this call for a couple of days and I've been going through a lot of different topics that I wanted to touch on and then specific analogies that I want to come up with. And I think I've landed on some really good stuff. So I hope you guys agree. These calls are meant to be a smaller group, as always, and we do want your feedback. We do want to go through specific scenarios afterwards if you have anything you want to touch on. But it's a 15-minute, high impact, very tactical sort of coaching topic, and then we kind of break. And if there's nothing else, we let you get on with your day. So having said that, I'm going to jump right in here. And today, somebody remind me, because I'm going to break through this presentation at one point, and I want to bring up and break out the topic of the analogy of being a bodyguard. Okay, and we're going to actually talk about the realtor and its similarity to a bodyguard. Okay, so now that I've told you that, just remind me about that. Okay, let's break this out. So today's topic is called the currency of likability. The currency of likability. Ryan, are you on the call?
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, this is you, just so you know. So your current. No, no, I'm being serious. I'm being
Scott
serious.
loves to talk about how I'm likable, but I feel like an asshole most of the time. So I'm happy to take it in.
Trust me on this. You have the currency of likability. So I thought about you a lot when I was preparing. Okay, so let me start with something simple but powerful. People do not do business with the smartest person in the room. They do business with the person they like and trust the most. Competency gets you in the door. Likability closes the deal and keeps it coming back.
Did
Today we're
Scott
gonna
just
break.
call me dumb?
No, not at all. No,
I'm
not at
That's
all.
exactly what he was trying to say, Ryan. That's what it was.
So, no, not at all, bud. So, today we're going to break down exactly how to become that person, the one that people want to work with, refer, and trust with their money, time, and decisions. Likability is not a personality trait. So, as much as you all think that, like, oh, I was just born this way, or, I'm this way because of my environment, or whatever the case is, there are still choices that we get to make. And so, like I say, likability is not a personality trait. A lot of people think likability is something you're born with. It is not. Likability is built on a few repeatable behaviors. Okay. Write these down or jot these down in your mental notes. These are the behaviors: making people feel understood, making people feel respected, making people feel good about themselves. One thing you'll notice about all 3 of those statements is they have nothing to do with you or me. They have everything to do with being others centered. So you're not trying to be something yourself. You're actually trying to make the other person feel a certain way. So those 3 things again, we're making people feel understood, making people feel respected, and making people feel good about themselves. That is it. That is what likability is. Okay, I'm going to tell you why I love real estate. And I truly love real estate. I think all the time, like you do, about all the different things that you can do in the world and vocations and what you could do for, side hustle here or anything. I always come back to real estate because I truly love the fact that to be better in real estate, you have to become a better human being because you are the product. I am the product. I'm not selling a chocolate bar on the shelf. I'm not, selling some abstract third party service. I'm selling my own services. I'm selling me. I am the product. And so if you want to become better in the industry, you have to be a better version of yourself, which is why I love this, because it's a lifelong business of basically trying to become a better version of yourself, which your spouse and your kids and your brother and your parents and all people want to see you do well in this scope. Okay, so if someone walks away from you thinking that person gets me or that felt good, you have already won. Think about I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. Think about the person that you really, really like. So everybody has somebody in their mind right now where you're like, that person comes to mind when you say, think of someone you really, really like. I really, really like that person. Okay, everybody got that person in their mind? Okay, now think about this. Do they really like you? I am almost going to guarantee that 100% of the time, it's going to be someone that really likes you because they made you feel understood. They made you feel respected. They made you feel good about yourself. So that's the thing that we're striving towards in sales. Okay, so let's actually break out how to actually get better at this, okay? So again, the goal is to have that person think, this realtor gets me. This realtor made me feel good. If that is happening, you have already won. Okay, so here's the 5 pillars. 5 pillars of being someone who people want to do business with. Number 1, genuine interest, not fake charm. So we all know that people can smell fake from a mile away. So instead of trying to impress them, shift your mindset to, I'm here to understand. We want to make practical moves, ask thoughtful questions, listening without interrupting, repeat back what they said. So here's an example of that. So just so I understand, you're looking for stability more than high risk, right? That one sentence will build more trust than any 10-minute pitch. Okay, number 2, we're going to give 5 pillars on how to actually break this out. Number 2, clarity over complexity. People don't like feeling confused. So if you make things complicated, they associate you with confusion. Who knows what Sam McDaddy's big tagline on all of his marketing was? I don't know if it is currently, but certainly over the last 10 years, he used it repeatedly over and over and over again. Do you remember what it was?
Was there like something
My
like
eyebrows are better than yours.
His eyebrows are pretty good. His
there's
eyebrows are
100
pretty
things
good.
to do, 100 things to do, but I'll do. I just call me, and that's the only thing you need. Something like that.
Exactly. So Steve's got it. So he took all the complications and basically was saying, like, there's 15 things that need to get done, or you can just call me and give me the keys and I'll take care of them all. And so essentially what he was doing is he's taking a very complex, complicated process and he's just like, do you want to just hand me the keys and get out of the way? You say that in a polite and friendly way, you are going to win over and over and over again. Okay. You want to avoid jargon. You want to use analogies. So think of as many good analogies as you can. And I'm going to give you my favorite one that I've ever heard. I learned it while preparing for this call. A realtor, I want you to think of me, Mr. Seller, Mrs. Seller, I want you to think of me like a bodyguard. I will fight for you, but I will not fight with you. Like I will protect you from everything that you need protection from, but I'm always, always on your side. Especially in this market, I think a lot of realtors get in conflict or in arguments or on opposite sides as their client, and they constantly need to be reminded, like, just remember, I'm the bodyguard here. So like, I'm the realtor bodyguard. I am going to protect you from everything. I'm going to secure the highest and best sale for you, but I also need you to, follow some guidance, etc. Okay. I love that analogy. All right, this is the third breakout. Reliability is magnetic. Likability isn't just personality, it's consistency. So do what you say you're going to do every time, because here's the truth. People don't refer nice people. I know a lot of nice people. I don't refer those people to my friends and family. I refer people who follow up when they say they will, when they're on time, when they underpromise and overdeliver. Those are the people that I refer. And I'm often not referring the smartest people that I know. So it's like, this isn't the smartest contractor that I know, or this isn't the smartest business person that I know. But every time I've needed them, they were there. They were on time. They were punctual. They did what they said they were going to do. They came in on budget, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, number 4, emotional control. Nobody wants to do business with somebody who is unpredictable. And I'm just going to tell you this. For me, this is the area that I'm working on the most. I want to work on being the same person consistently, day in, day out. And I don't want that person to be a jerk. I want that person to be, competent, kind, compassionate, but I also want that person to be a doer. I want that person to be effective, efficient, a go-getter, etc. I don't want to have highs and lows. I want to be a consistent person. And so I'm really working on self-control, emotional control, also considered self-control. Sorry, someone jump in there with a question? No. All right. So emotional control, probably the main point about emotional control is you're not getting defensive. You're not reacting emotionally to objectives. You're staying calm under pressure. And when people feel your stability, they relax. Think about the person that you feel the most relaxed around. They are a very consistent person. You're not worried about them flying off the handle or coming out of left field or dunking on top of you. Things that I'm guilty of, by the way. So that is a person that has significant emotional control, self-control. Number 5 is confidence without arrogance. Confidence attracts, arrogance repels. So what is the difference? Confidence says, I know what I'm doing. I'm here to help you. Arrogance says, I know more than you. Okay. The one builds trust, the other builds resistance. So here's the practical breakout of that. Speak clearly and directly, but don't feel the need to oversell. Be okay saying, I don't know, but I will find out. And obviously find out. The last one builds massive credibility. Okay, so here's the hidden multiplier. And I would say that this is for me the most impactful of the presentation. This is the part most people ignore. Your energy walks into the room before you do. So ask yourself. I'm actually going to ask you this question before I ask you to ask yourself it. When you leave the gym, do you feel better for having gone or worse than having went? Most people would say, I feel better. You might feel terrible walking in, but walking out, when the workout is done, do you feel better? Okay, same thing if you're a person who goes to a place of worship. When you walk into that place of worship, by the time you walk out, do you feel better for having gone? Well, the same thing is true when you walk into their house. Do they feel better after you were there, or do they feel worse? That's the simple way of breaking down this hidden multiplier. Everywhere you go, you want to be the person that they felt better for having been in your presence. So every time you're around, it's like, wow, I love that Chris came over today, or that felt really good, or it was great to see Ryan, or wow, I feel really good after talking to Steve. If you're consistently that person, it doesn't matter if you're selling rocket ships or real estate or frisbees, you are going to be very, very successful. So this is the part where you're going to ask yourself, do people feel better after talking to me? Like, answer that internally right now. I would say for me, it would be like a 50-50. 50% of the time, maybe people feel better after talking to me. And I want to get that up to like 100%, 90%. I want people to always feel better after talking to me. Here's the second question. Do I bring calm or pressure? Third question for you. Do I create ease or tension? People associate your energy with your brand, because what you're bringing to the table, what you're bringing to the conversation, what you're bringing into that room is you. You're actually bringing your personality in there. And so do they feel rushed? Do they feel desperate, like they need to pull back? Do they feel grounded? Do they feel like they can lean in? Your presence is a silent pitch. So that's the goal on what we're working on. And again, this all groups under likability. If you achieve any of these to a better degree, your likability is going up. All right, so what actually makes people say yes? Because at the end of the day, that is ultimately what we're looking for, is more people say yes. They trust you, they feel understood, they feel safe. Not pressured, not overwhelmed, not sold, but safe. How do we achieve that? I'll post these notes, or Georgia, I'll send it to Georgia because I don't know how to post these notes, but she'll post these notes after. You can read up and go exactly down the list of the things that you can do. But I would say if you master creating that feeling of making people feel safe, your close rate will naturally go up without pushing. So if you remember nothing else, remember this. People won't always remember what you said, but they will always remember how you made them feel. I'm going to say that one more time. They won't always remember what you said, but they will remember how you made them feel. So be the person who listens better than anyone else, who explains things clearly, who shows up consistently, who stays calm under pressure, and who carries quiet confidence. Because if you do that, if we work on that together, you will effectively become a better closer. All right, I'm going to pause there. It's exactly 15 minutes. Feedback, questions, how are we going to integrate this into our actual daily walk?
What was the one before Clarity and confusion. What was the first one?
Let me pull it up. The
Genuine
first of the five pillars.
Yes, please.
Yeah, genuine interest, not fake charm. So basically what you're saying is like people can smell fake from a mile away. So instead of trying to impress them, shift your mindset to I'm here to understand. And what I would say it another way, instead of like boasting all about yourself, dig into more about them. Because remember, when people feel like when they feel like they like you, it's generally because you're interested in them. If they feel like you're arrogant, it's generally because you are interested in yourself. And I'm not saying that you can't boast accolades and you can't show a listing presentation that says we're the top team at this and that, and you have all these listings. But what I'm saying is that if you meet any, this is not just a listing appointment or a buyer appointment, this is just everyday conversations that you're having. If they leave that conversation thinking this person just talked about themselves, they weren't interested in me, they weren't interested in my plan, you're probably going to be on the losing end of a lot of opportunities, I would say.
If there's anything that comes to mind that you want us to talk on, I just launched a poll and select a topic so Scott has specific feedback to work off in the future.
Yeah, and I would say like for me, my goal is even if we just grab one or two people to like, how are we going to break this out this week? I'll just give you a real life example, and this is me being very raw, potentially vulnerable. So 10 minutes before this call, and this is what always happens to me. I didn't realize that there was somebody else in my house. So I was talking to my wife and my children like I was the only person in the house. And I was very direct. I would say that's even kind. I was probably slightly offside. So this is what actually happened. I'm like, look, I have to jump on a call. I've got 5 minutes to eat. And basically what I was saying is like, where's lunch? Like, what's going on here? Like, why isn't lunch ready? Like we have our roles and I do this and you do that and you generally have lunch. And anyways, she wanted to smack me and probably deserved to. So she puts a hard-boiled egg in the microwave, which who eats a hard-boiled egg warmed up? I don't know, but anyways, I'm letting that go. My little 6-year-old daughter takes it out of the microwave. It explodes in her face. This just happened, by the way. We're talking like 25 minutes ago. And my 6-year-old daughter's crying, and the words that I said, I'm not going to repeat, but I didn't swear and I wasn't like totally aggressive, but I was definitely not kind and loving. I was not likable. Well, then we have this tutor that's tutoring my kids, and she's my age, 45-year-old woman. I didn't realize she was in the house, and she comes like tiptoeing down the stairs right after I basically said what I said. And I'm like, oh boy, here we go. Here's my point. We are not going to do this perfectly, but what we do when things don't go right, like how we correct, how we're willing to move forward after that. So this was told to me by a great teacher one time, and he said to me, "This has gotten me so far in life. I'm sorry. That was my fault. I don't want to be that person. May I have your forgiveness?" Or something to that effect. I'm sorry. That was my fault. I don't want to be that person. May I have your forgiveness? And I literally went in. So you guys saw me on no video there for the first 2 minutes. I'm like, I have to do this right now. I put it on pause. Walked in. I said to my wife, I'm sorry. That was my fault. I don't want to be that person. May I have your forgiveness? And I'll tell you what, like, do you think my day is going to go as well as it would have if I didn't like explode like the boiled egg? It's going to go better. Like, do you guys get that? Let me leave you with this analogy. Anybody know what happens to a broken bone after it heals? Tell me if you know. Go ahead, Ray.
It's stronger.
Yeah, this is like a phenomenon of the human body, but
I
I
have
think it's
a really strong finger here. This is a super finger.
you guys can look this up after this call, but when a broken bone heals, it becomes strong. You break your leg, it heals, it's stronger than your leg that never broke. So same thing in relationships, same thing in our marriages, with our kids, with our friends, with our colleagues, with our coworkers. Like everything can be remedied if we have humility to go about it. So this is not much like a how to gain the next lead or how to market better. This is just a teaching on like, let's be better versions of ourselves, because this is the irony. we make more money when we're better versions of ourselves. We agree, right? Like my marriage is stronger. My day is going to go better today because I exploded over a hard-boiled egg, but I had the humility to make it right.
Can I
So
ask a
anyways,
question, Scott?
yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, so you have been married for a while now. You had that script pretty dialed in. Do you say the same thing every time? And then does she call you out and say, that's the script that you said to me 100 times?
Yeah, so fair answer. So fair question, and I'll give you a real answer. So yes, I say generally the same thing every time, but it's how you say it. So I'll give you another little tidbit. Just these are my tidbits as a father. Whenever my kids are bickering, I've taught them to say, "Okay, no problem. Okay, no problem." But I've taught them to say it like that. You could also say, "Okay, no problem. Okay, no problem." Like they could say it that way when they're bickering, or they could say, okay, no problem. Okay, no problem. Like it's a diffusing way of saying it. So my point in saying that is to say this. I say the same thing over, but I say it in humility. So I literally say, look, brother, I'm sorry. That was my fault. I don't want to be that person. Can I have your forgiveness? If it's said that way, or if it's just said like a routine thing, then she catches how I say it. And so that's why I think that the words we say matter, but also the way we say it matters. And I'm constantly learning. Like today was the biggest, like, whoa, I love this bodyguard analogy. I've never used it in real estate, but I'm going to start using it now, right? Like I immediately think of the movie The Bodyguard, like the Kevin Costner, wasn't it? And it's like, he's there to protect. He's there to guide. He's not there to fight against Whitney Houston. He is literally there to protect and guide. What a great imagery for a realtor. Like, I'm not here to fight you. I want to be your bodyguard. What if we said that on the next price correction? Like, look, I don't want to be against you in any way. I just want to be your bodyguard. Like we're on the same team. I want the best for you. Our outcomes are equally important in terms of what we're trying to achieve. And I want you to see me as your bodyguard. And if at any point you don't, I want you to tell me how I can make that better, because that's who I want to be for you. And then when we say these things, and when we also hang out with people that want to strive to be better versions of ourselves, like life is more enjoyable, and the day goes by better, and we learn from one another. So anyways, I hope that you guys get little nuggets that you can take and use and put in place. And if there's anything else that you guys have to add, let's talk about it now. So I'm going to challenge you then. I'm going to challenge you on this. Always good, because this is a real estate coaching call, to use this in your business, but use something that you heard today in life today. Like literally make an action step where you're going to be like, okay, you know what? I probably owe an apology here, but I just known this person for so long that I just kind of let it roll, and I didn't address it. But I'm going to actually call them after this, and I'm going to be like, you know what? I didn't apologize to you, but probably owed you an apology. So I just want to say, sorry, that was my fault. I don't want to be that person. And have your forgiveness. Or maybe it's a client you're on opposite sides with, and you just want to get on the right side with them. You're like, look, I had a call with a friend of mine today. I realized that you're not seeing me as your bodyguard, and I want you to see me as your bodyguard, meaning I want you to see me as someone who's on your side and fighting for you. And I want to get on that page with you. And so if you don't see me that way, I just wanted to say, I'm sorry, but let's start this afternoon in that light. That's my challenge to all of you. Whether you accept it or not is up to you. Anything else? Anyone else got something to add for benefit of all of us?
Big takeaway for me anyways is I think it's such a straight line. I fight for you, not with you. I mean, that's just I think I'll definitely be using that. And even when I'm talking to, other people that are thinking about joining Real or joining the team, it's kind of the same mentality, right? We're always looking to protect each other and help each other grow. And I think that relationship matters with our clients as much as anything else. So I think that was 10 out of 10 feedback.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. And you know what I'll also say? We've achieved it on leadership and across our team. So like that's when I actually go through this and I'm like, wow, this is how we operate. This is our operation. This is our whole business. We all have this mindset. Are we perfect? No. Can we be offside? Yes. Is there apologies needed here and there? Of course. But like we actually lead this way. We do business in this way. And so I'm so glad that it's a big part of our ethos. Anybody else? Feedback, questions, comments?
Can you say that script one more time? I have to apologize later in the evening, and I'm going to need it.
Yeah. So I just say, I'm sorry, that was my fault, and I don't want to be that guy. May I please have your forgiveness? I think the last part is the most important. If all you remember is like, sorry, may I have your forgiveness? Because oftentimes we say sorry, right? Like, sorry is not a hard thing to say in this, I would say in this world. Like, I'm sorry, my bad, whatever. But like, may I actually have your forgiveness? Because what you're saying is, I want to reconcile with you. I don't want to just clean my side of the street. I actually want us to reconcile. And that is the part where it's like, may I have your forgiveness? So I'll say it one last time, and we'll peace out on that. I'm sorry, that was my fault. I don't want to be that guy. May I have your forgiveness? There's gold in that. All right, have a great day, everybody.